Aging is inevitable. Every single one of us will experience the slow but certain passage of time. Our hands, once steady and strong, will weaken. Our steps will become slower. The faces that once looked up to us for guidance will one day have to decide, where do we belong? This is more than just a logistical issue. It is a moral and spiritual question. How a society treats its elderly reflects its values, its depth of compassion, and its wisdom. Some cultures revere their elders as sources of guidance, while others, in the pursuit of modern efficiency, push them to the margins. But in doing so, do we lose something essential? In this video, we will explore this profound question through a Buddhist lens, reflecting on the deeper significance of aging, family bonds, and the responsibilities we carry across generations. If you find this discussion meaningful, please like, share, and subscribe to Buddhist Mindfulness for more insights into mindful living and spiritual wisdom. Now, let's begin. Part 1. The Traditional Wisdom, Elders as Pillars of the Family. In many traditional societies, elders were seen as the keepers of wisdom, the storytellers, the guides, the voices of experience. They played an integral role in shaping the moral fabric of their families and communities. Their presence was not merely accepted, but cherished. Throughout history, elders have served as the foundation of family structures, ensuring that values, customs, and traditions were passed down from generation to generation. In many cultures, they were the ones who mediated conflicts, offered counsel, and made crucial decisions for the benefit of the family. Their wisdom, acquired through years of lived experiences, provided stability and continuity. In indigenous communities, the elders' role extended beyond their immediate family. They were revered as guardians of cultural heritage, often leading ceremonies, storytelling gatherings, and imparting life lessons to the younger generations. Their guidance was seen as indispensable in maintaining social harmony and ensuring the survival of traditions. With the advent of modernization, urbanization, and technological advancements, the role of elders has diminished in many societies. The rise of nuclear families, economic pressures, and changing social values have led to a shift in how older generations are perceived and treated. Many elderly individuals find themselves living in isolation or in nursing homes, separated from the families they once nurtured. This shift is particularly evident in industrialized nations, where independence and self-reliance are often valued over intergenerational dependence. As a result, the wisdom and experiences of elders are often overlooked in favor of modern, fast-paced solutions. However, this change comes with significant consequences, including the loss of cultural identity, weakening family bonds, and a decline in moral teachings that once formed the bedrock of societies. In the time of the Buddha, there was a wealthy merchant named Sudatta, known as Anathapindika, a great patron of the Dharma. Despite his wealth, he did not abandon his aging parents. He cared for them with great devotion, understanding that their wisdom was more valuable than gold. One day, a disciple asked the Buddha, "Master, should we continue to care for our parents when they can no longer contribute to the household?" The Buddha replied, "Parents are the first teachers. They are the roots of our existence. To neglect them in old age is to cut the very foundation from which we grow." In Buddhist teachings, filial piety is a sacred duty. The gratitude we owe to our parents is immeasurable. To support them in their later years is an act of merit, a way to cultivate loving kindness, metta, and compassion, karuna. Filial piety is not exclusive to Buddhism. It is a principle deeply embedded in many Asian cultures, particularly in Confucianism. Confucius taught that respect for one's parents and ancestors was the cornerstone of a harmonious society. In China, the concept of shao emphasizes the lifelong duty of children to honor and care for their parents, ensuring their well-being in both life and death. Similarly, in Hindu philosophy, the concept of pitru runa, debt to one's parents, states that individuals must repay their parents for giving them life by providing love and care in their old age. In many African societies, elders are considered living libraries of wisdom, and their presence is vital for the moral and spiritual education of the youth. From a psychological perspective, maintaining strong relationships with elders fosters a sense of belonging and continuity. Studies have shown that intergenerational bonding can reduce feelings of loneliness, depression, and anxiety among older adults. For younger family members, listening to the life experiences of elders can offer valuable insights, resilience, and guidance for their own journeys. On a spiritual level, caring for elders nurtures virtues such as patience, humility, and selflessness. It strengthens family ties and fosters an environment of mutual respect and love. The act of serving one's parents and grandparents can be seen as a form of meditation in action and a expression of gratitude that deepens one's spiritual practice. While societal changes have altered traditional family dynamics, there are ways to reintegrate elders into family and community life. Intergenerational living, encouraging multi-generational households can help bridge the generational gap, fostering daily interactions between elders and younger family members. Community engagement, creating programs that involve elders in mentoring, storytelling, and community decision-making can reinstate their role as guides and teachers. Technology and connection. While technology has distanced many from face-to-face interactions, it can also be a tool for connection. Teaching elders how to use digital platforms can help them stay connected with their families and share their wisdom in new ways. Educational initiatives. Schools and universities can incorporate programs where elders share their life experiences and cultural knowledge with students, fostering respect and appreciation for older generations. Mindful practices. Encouraging mindfulness practices that emphasize gratitude and respect for elders can reinforce the values of compassion and interconnectedness within families. Elders are not merely remnants of the past, they are pillars of wisdom, love, and resilience. Their presence enriches families and strengthens the social fabric of communities. As societies continue to evolve, it is crucial to find ways to honor and integrate elders into the present rather than relegating them to the sidelines. By doing so, we not only preserve our traditions, but also cultivate a more compassionate, interconnected world where wisdom is cherished and respect for one another is upheld. In the words of the Buddha, just as a tree with strong roots cannot be easily uprooted, a family that honors its elders will always stand strong. Part 2, the modern shift, individualism and the fragmentation of families. For most of human history, the family was not just a social structure, but an economic and emotional unit that spanned multiple generations. Grandparents, parents, and children often lived under the same roof, supporting each other through life's challenges. However, in many parts of the world today, especially in Western societies, this traditional model has eroded, giving way to a culture of individualism. This shift did not happen overnight. It is the result of economic changes, urbanization, technological advancements, and evolving societal values. While modern individualism has granted people greater personal freedom, it has also led to a fragmentation of families, with significant consequences for both the young and the elderly. Aging parents, a responsibility or a burden. One of the most telling signs of this cultural shift is the way society treats its elderly. In the past, aging parents were considered an integral part of the household, their wisdom and experience valued. Today, they are often seen as a burden. The rise of retirement homes and elder care facilities is not merely a response to medical needs, it reflects a deeper societal transformation. Independence over interdependence. Modern values emphasize personal independence, sometimes at the expense of familial bonds. Young adults prioritize career advancement and personal aspirations, often moving far from home for work or education, leaving their aging parents behind. Economic pressures. The rising cost of living means that many families require two working parents, leaving little time for caregiving. Balancing work, childcare, and elder care becomes overwhelming, leading to outsourcing care to professionals. Medical advancements and longevity. While people live longer today, extended lifespans do not always equate to improved quality of life. Many elderly individuals experience loneliness, depression, and a loss of purpose as they are separated from their families. Yet, what is the real cost of this shift? When families grow apart, something profound is lost. The wisdom of the elders is no longer passed down. Younger generations, deprived of deep intergenerational connections, struggle with a sense of rootlessness and lack of belonging. The consequences of this fragmentation go beyond practical challenges. They extend into the psychological and emotional well-being of both the young and the old. For the elderly, isolation can be devastating. Studies have shown that loneliness and lack of social interaction can accelerate cognitive decline, increase the risk of heart disease, and contribute to early mortality. The transition from a bustling family home to a quiet elder care facility often leads to feelings of abandonment and despair. For younger generations, the absence of grandparents and elderly relatives means missing out on valuable life lessons. Grandparents play a unique role in shaping children's values, offering perspectives that parents may not. Their presence instills a sense of history, continuity, and cultural heritage that is difficult to replace. When these connections are severed, young people may struggle with identity, a sense of purpose, and emotional stability. I remember my own grandmother, a woman of quiet strength. She had lived through war, famine, and hardship, yet she carried herself with a grace that could not be taught in books. She was a living testament to resilience, patience, and wisdom. In her final years, she lived with my family. It was not always easy. Caring for an aging parent requires time, patience, and sacrifice. There were moments of exhaustion, frustration, and even resentment, but there were also moments of deep connection, of laughter, and of profound learning. My children learned invaluable lessons about patience, about duty, about love. They saw firsthand what it means to care for someone in their most vulnerable years. My grandmother's presence, even in silence, was a stabilizing force in our home. She had a way of bringing perspective to our daily struggles, reminding us of what truly mattered. When she passed, she left behind not just memories, but a legacy of wisdom that continues to shape our lives. Can we rebuild the lost connection? The challenges of modern life are real, but they do not have to lead to the complete breakdown of intergenerational bonds. There are ways to bridge the gap between individualism and family unity, ensuring that our elderly remain an integral part of our lives rather than being pushed to the margins. Rethinking elder care. While professional care facilities may be necessary for some, they should not be the default solution. More families can explore alternatives like multi-generational living arrangements or community-based elder support networks that allow older adults to maintain connections with loved ones. Prioritizing family time. Modern life is busy, but intentional effort can make a difference. Regular visits, video calls, or even shared activities can help maintain strong bonds between generations. Valuing the wisdom of the elderly. Society needs to shift its perspective on aging. Instead of seeing the elderly as a burden, we can embrace them as mentors and storytellers, preserving their knowledge for future generations. Educational and workplace reforms. Workplaces can introduce policies that support employees in balancing elder care responsibilities, such as flexible hours or remote work options. Schools can incorporate programs that encourage intergenerational learning, where children and seniors engage in meaningful exchanges. The fragmentation of families is not inevitable. It is a choice shaped by societal values and personal decisions. While individualism has brought many benefits, it should not come at the expense of deep human connections. Family is more than just a biological relationship. It is a source of identity, wisdom, and emotional grounding. As we navigate the complexities of modern life, we must ask ourselves, what kind of legacy do we want to leave behind? Will we choose convenience over connection, efficiency over empathy, or will we find a way to reintegrate our elders into the fabric of our lives, ensuring that their presence continues to enrich us? The answers to these questions will shape not just our families, but our societies for generations to come. Part 3. The psychological and spiritual impact of isolation. When elders are placed in nursing homes or left to live alone, something essential is lost, not just for them, but for all of us. The wisdom, stories, and presence of the elderly are vital threads in the fabric of family and society. Yet, as modern life prioritizes individualism and efficiency, many elders find themselves living in isolation, detached from the warmth and connection they once knew. Scientific studies have repeatedly shown that social isolation in old age can have severe consequences on mental and physical health. Seniors who experience prolonged loneliness are at higher risk for depression, anxiety, and cognitive decline. The lack of social interaction can accelerate memory loss, leading to conditions like dementia and Alzheimer's disease. Without daily conversations, shared meals, or physical closeness, the brain receives fewer stimuli, causing it to weaken over time. Furthermore, loneliness can affect physical health as much as smoking or obesity. Research has found that isolated elders have an increased risk of heart disease, high blood pressure, and weakened immune function. The stress of being alone triggers inflammatory responses in the body, making individuals more susceptible to illness. Alarmingly, studies suggest that chronic loneliness can shorten a person's lifespan, underscoring how deeply social bonds are connected to overall well being. From a Buddhist perspective, isolation in old age is not just a physical condition, but a deep spiritual suffering. In Buddhism, attachment is a central cause of suffering, dukkha. As elders grow older, they naturally reflect on their lives, their relationships, and the impermanence of all things. If this reflection happens in solitude, without support, it can lead to a sense of regret, longing, and sadness. Many elderly individuals experience the fear of abandonment, a deep existential pain that comes when they feel forgotten by their families or society. This pain is not just about missing loved ones, it is about losing a sense of purpose and identity. In traditional Buddhist teachings, old age is a time for spiritual deepening and preparation for the next life. However, when elders are left alone, instead of feeling peace, they often experience distress, struggling with the emotions of clinging to a past that no longer exists. The importance of community and intergenerational living. In contrast, a home filled with multiple generations fosters a sense of continuity, belonging, and emotional security. In many traditional cultures, elders remain integral members of the household, guiding younger generations with their wisdom and experience. This model of living creates a natural flow of care. Elders offer their knowledge, while younger family members provide companionship and support. Buddhism emphasizes the concept of sangha, or spiritual community, as one of the three jewels. Just as monks support one another in their practice, families should support each other through all phases of life. In an intergenerational home, elders are not seen as burdens but as respected teachers, offering their insights and lived experiences. Children benefit from their presence, learning patience, compassion, and the value of tradition. Meanwhile, elders find comfort in knowing they are still needed and cherished. As society moves toward greater individualism, it is crucial to remember the importance of connection, especially for those in their final years. While not all families can live together, there are ways to maintain strong bonds. Regular visits, meaningful conversations, and small acts of kindness can make a profound difference. Even in a nursing home setting, creating a sense of community, encouraging friendships among residents, and integrating family involvement can help mitigate the effects of isolation. Caring for elders is not just a duty, but a sacred responsibility. It is a way of honoring the cycle of life, recognizing that just as they once cared for us, we must now care for them. True well-being, both psychological and spiritual, is found in connection, not in separation. By embracing this understanding, we can create a more compassionate world where no one, especially our elders, has to face the pain of loneliness. Part 4. What can we do? Balancing modern challenges with ancient wisdom. In today's fast-paced world, many of us struggle with the question of how to care for our aging parents while balancing work, finances, and personal responsibilities. Unlike the past, when extended families often live together, modern life has introduced new challenges that make traditional caregiving more difficult. However, ancient wisdom, particularly from Buddhist teachings, reminds us that honoring and respecting our elders is not just a duty, but a deeply meaningful practice that enriches both their lives and ours. While we may not always be able to provide direct care, there are many ways we can support our elders, ensuring they feel valued, loved, and respected. While it may not always be feasible to have aging parents live under the same roof, we can still make an effort to keep them close. Regular visits, frequent phone calls, and virtual check-ins can provide a sense of connection and belonging. Loneliness is one of the biggest challenges the elderly face, and even small gestures, such as stopping by for tea or sending a heartfelt letter, can make a profound difference in their emotional well-being. If they live nearby, inviting them over for dinner, weekend gatherings, or family outings can help them remain an integral part of the family. If distance is a barrier, technology can bridge the gap. Teaching our parents how to use video calls, social media, or messaging apps can keep communication flowing, making them feel involved even when we are far apart. Many elderly individuals feel forgotten, not because their families do not care, but because they are unintentionally left out of daily life. Small, consistent acts of inclusion can transform their experience. Inviting them to family celebrations, involving them in discussions about family matters, or simply sitting down for a meal together can reinforce their importance within the family unit. Even in simple moments, their presence and wisdom can be cherished. For example, allowing them to share their knowledge in the kitchen, asking for their advice in parenting or personal decisions, or watching a favorite old movie together can make them feel valued. These acts strengthen familial bonds and foster a sense of continuity between generations. One of the greatest gifts we can give our children is the opportunity to learn from their grandparents. Elders carry a lifetime of experience, traditions, and stories that can provide younger generations with a deeper understanding of their roots. Encouraging children to spend time with their grandparents allows them to absorb lessons that cannot be found in books or on the internet. Through storytelling, elders pass down cultural traditions, ethical values, and personal experiences that offer guidance and wisdom. These exchanges also benefit the elderly, giving them a sense of purpose and fulfillment as they see their knowledge being passed down. Whether through bedtime stories, family history lessons, or simple conversations, these interactions create a bridge between past and present. In situations where professional elder care is necessary, it is crucial to advocate for facilities and caregivers that uphold dignity, respect, and emotional well-being. Choosing the right care environment means considering more than just medical support. It involves evaluating how the elderly are treated, whether they have opportunities for social engagement, and whether their emotional and spiritual needs are met. If placing a parent in a care facility is unavoidable, visiting regularly, ensuring they feel loved, and checking in on their emotional health can make a significant difference. Supporting policies that improve elder care standards and encouraging communities to create programs for senior well-being can also contribute to a culture that values and respects aging individuals. At the heart of Buddhist teachings is the practice of metta, loving kindness, and karuna, compassion. These principles remind us that caring for our elders is not just about obligation. It is an opportunity to express deep love and gratitude. True compassion goes beyond words. It is reflected in our actions, in the patience we show, the time we dedicate, and the respect we offer. Metta can be practiced through small but meaningful acts, such as listening attentively to our elders, expressing appreciation for their presence, or making time for their needs even when our schedules are busy. Karuna reminds us to ease their suffering, whether by offering physical assistance, emotional support, or simply holding their hand during a difficult moment. Balancing modern challenges with ancient wisdom requires conscious effort, but the rewards are immeasurable. Honoring our elders does not always mean providing direct care. It means making them feel seen, heard, and valued in whatever way we can. By keeping them close, integrating them into family life, fostering intergenerational connections, advocating for respectful elder care, and practicing loving kindness and compassion, we create a world where aging is embraced with dignity and love. As we reflect on our relationships with our elders, let us remember that how we treat them today sets an example for future generations. The love and respect we offer now will not only bring peace to their later years, but will also shape the way we ourselves are treated as we age. One day, we too will grow old. The lines on our faces will deepen, our steps may slow, and the hands that once built our dreams will tremble with time. But what will remain? The love we gave, the kindness we shared, and the wisdom we passed on, these will be our true legacy. The way we treat our elders today sets the precedent for how we will be treated tomorrow. If we value wisdom, compassion, and human dignity, we must embody those values now, not only in words, but in action. Buddhism teaches us that everything is impermanent. Youth fades, beauty changes, and the material world slips through our fingers like sand. Yet, love and kindness endure beyond our fleeting existence. When we nurture respect for our elders, we preserve the wisdom of generations. When we extend our hands to those who once carried us, we honor the cycle of life. Let us create a world where no elder is forgotten, where no wisdom is lost, and where every life is cherished until its final breath. If you found value in this discussion, please like, share, and subscribe to Buddhist Mindfulness. Let us walk this path of wisdom together. Until next time, may you be well, may you be happy, and may you be at peace.